guys, this is Dr. D. I want to come on here and just teach you for a little bit about what happens when we do things to make the brain healthy. You see, we need to stop thinking about mental health and start thinking more in terms of brain health. The brain's an organ, right? I can wrap my head around that, unacknowledged. I can wrap my head around the brain being an organ and it needing to get healthy. So when we're struggling with depression or anxiety, there's some things that are happening in our brain. First, there's an increase in inflammation. We've actually measured these markers and seen inflammatory markers are increased with depression and anxiety. But also there's loss of neural connections in some key areas of the brain, areas that allow us to do our planning, decision-making, even our emotional regulation. So let's talk for a minute about a patient of mine who came in named James. And James says, I don't really have a ton of anxious thoughts. My anxiety is just when I'm around people and I'm talking to people. I mean, he just feels this overwhelming anxiety start to snowball. Some of you can relate to that because that's not a rare complaint. And he feels himself getting sweaty, just a normal conversation, right? Not even anything that's emotionally charged. So he came in here and we were talking about his anxiety. I had him fill out this, March 19th, he fills out this anxiety score. And so he's at a 12, which is moderate anxiety. His depression score was really low, but we talked about these infusions that we do that literally restore the neural connections in those key areas of the brain. So essentially undoing what chronic stress over time has done that's left us with depression or anxiety. And so as we started going through those, I mean, he had his first infusion, that went well, and he came back for his second infusion, was feeling a little bit better. By his third infusion, he said, I feel like that I'm able to behave in situations more the way I want to behave, right? So his body wasn't just taking over and having its way with him and kind of forcing him down this path of anxiety. And so we continued the therapy. And what was interesting was by his sixth infusion, he said, you know, I feel like that I've been able to see some things in myself more clearly, meaning he was able to introspect and see things in himself that he needed to make changes or, right? We all are on a journey to get better. Like, I don't want to be the same D Bonnie in 3 or 5 years that I am right now. I want to continue to iterate and change and grow. But he was able to see that. Well, here's the beautiful part of this. Before his sixth infusion, so he still had one more to go, here's his anxiety score. He's down to a 2 on the anxiety score. That's minimal anxiety. I mean, who wouldn't be a 2? Like, rarely are we zeros for everything that's bothering us, right? And so I just want to point out that really what's happening here is his brain is getting healthy, right? There was the loss of neural connections that have now been restored. And we see that last. It at least lasts months. We've had some people do these treatments 2 years ago. They still haven't needed more treatments, and yet we still take care of them for other issues. But more often, somebody might need to come in once or twice, maybe 3 times a year to get a booster infusion if they feel like they're starting to get sideways. But I'm telling you, like, this therapy literally changes people's lives. It makes them more of who they were designed to be, right? So rather than being in bondage to depression, anxiety, and it controls your thoughts, and you have the negative internal dialogue and the self-judgment, you wake up with this sense of dread, or you feel overwhelmed by daily responsibilities, that goes into remission for people, and they just feel well, which means that they're able to navigate through the hard because they can see a way out. And I think that's what's so remarkable about this. So I hope this helps. If you know someone who's struggling with depression, anxiety, PTSD, please have them call or text our office, 317-300-4091. I would love to do just a 30-minute free consultation with them to see if we are able to help them in some way. So reach out to your friends, share this video, click subscribe. I want to keep bringing you good information, and I want you to just let the world know that there is help and healing for mental health when we start thinking in terms of brain health. God bless you guys.